They gotta play us. That's what I'm about to say. They gotta fucking play us, baby. Let's go.
Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite in Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black and white. Day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every game day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle, dripping heat. Tiger stripe the city streets. East side, stand up. West side, stand up. If you reppin', who that? Time to put your hands up. Bingo stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati, jungle fitted. Blue day in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we lit it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the bounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes be tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Stripes. Now who wanna move closing on? Stripes. Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange bottle. Bingo bottle. Never stop it till the beast on feasting on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. Not do me a favor, if you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. You guys are awesome. I'm up to 1,987 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Also, I hit over 3,000 followers on Twitter. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys. Now, if you would like to support the show or make a comment for John, the Brain Sheeran, or make Dale answer something crazy, give me a super chat exclusively in the YouTube chat crew. I'd appreciate it. Now, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And if you guys have not had any of this yet, here, I got my nice. See, I didn't lose my Bengals and Brews koozie. I did find it. I was surprised. I thought I lost it. But you got to try this delicious tasting Jackpot Joey beer. And if you guys are interested in any of the merchandise, I'll pop it up right here. Like the hats we have, the flags, any of the stuff we have. Once here, I can drink this thing here. It's delicious. Anyway, if you guys are interested in that stuff, go to jackpotjoey9.com. Portions of the proceeds go to the Joe Burrow Hunger Relief Fund and the Joe Burrow Fund. So come check it out. All right, guys. We're coming down from the Bengals win against Kansas City. Next weekend, me and my boy, Dale, who I'm going to bring on right now. We're going to talk about this real quick before we get John on. Let's get Hooday! What are we doing next weekend? Where are we going to be at?
Well, I'm so excited. Holy shit, that background looks really nice.
I know. I did a great job, didn't I?
You know I did it.
Oh, yeah. That's right. My bad. But where are we going to be at next week? We're going to be in the suite. We're going to be in the Betfred suite, baby.
That is the plan.
That is the plan. Now,
I'm still waiting on them to be like, oh, no, not you. You're not. No, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah. We didn't. We wanted the other guys, not you three. No. But anyway, if you guys haven't yet done it yet, please go and sign up with betfredsports.com/Ohio/Bengal Boys_boys2. Bengals_boys2. That's our link. Betting is going to be legal in Ohio come January 1st.
And you have a chance to potentially join us in the suite because they give away suite tickets and regular tickets every single week.
Exactly.
So just by signing up, you're automatically entered for all their giveaways.
So if you want to hang out with two crazy guys, one crazy guy, two normal guys. The crazy guy's Derek. He's
Derek
one
can titties,
He does beer can titties. And if you haven't seen that, you go check out Bengals and Brews Twitter.
We're perfectly normal.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with us. We are perfectly normal. We're very calm at the game. We don't get very excited. So if you're going to hang out with the crazy guy, it's Derek. It's not us. Anyway, so I can't wait. I'm excited. Let's get to John, the Brain Sheeran. What's up, John?
What's up, John?
You all right?
I come on here for the mundane atmosphere. You know, you guys are very, very low key, so I feel right at home.
Yeah, the crazy one is down here. This is the craziest one. All three of us right here. This is John. Totally.
He tried to get us to go streaking just last weekend.
Yeah, John was like, "We're going streaking." I'm like, this is
We
not.
were like, John, that's a bad idea. Don't do it.
I
sir.
went by myself. You know, no one backed me up.
I was all by myself. No one was looking.
It's cold.
Hey, I want to get to Crip's comment because I've had terrible nicknames from Crip, so I will definitely take Big Daddy Diesel Dick Del Altman. Yep, that one's got to stick.
Where is that one at? Oh, there it is. Okay, my bad. There you go.
Thanks, Crip. That one's way better than one cheek sneak and you shit your pants. Way better.
Oh my goodness. So, John, all right. I titled this show basically, are the Bengals contenders for the number one spot in the AFC playoff picture right now? As they're in the middle of a heater. I mean, they're doing the same thing they did last year, coming out of the bye, laying out the same ways as they did last year. And no, we didn't get the number one seed last year, but it's all laid out in front of us. We got the Buffalo Bills coming up. We got the Ravens, all this stuff. What, Dale? What was that?
I was just going to say Tampa Bay. We got a lot,
yeah.
We have games. We have games coming up, John.
We have games coming up to teams we can beat that are in front of us. What do you think?
So it's gonna come out of these three teams, right? Like, I don't know what Baltimore is right now with Lamar on the mend. He'll be out for maybe a couple of weeks. Tyler Huntley, I think, is fine in his stead, but I mean that's still very much up in the air. So the division's definitely in their hands for them to take. You have to look at the Chiefs' remaining schedule, though, and I feel like that's why they're still, for many models, like projected to, if not be the top team in the AFC, at least number two, because they have cupcake after cupcake. I think they'll play the Broncos twice. They play the Texans. They should, for all intents and purposes, finish out the year 5-0, and I think they're going to be hungry to do so after taking this L. But when it comes to the Bengals and Bills, they have a little bit more tougher opponents left on their schedule. Like the Bills play the Jets, they play the Dolphins. They, of course, play the Bengals on Monday night at Paycor Stadium, and then they finish with the Patriots, who, again, should be looking for revenge. So when it comes down to these three teams, they should all be in contention. I understand why the Bengals have a significantly smaller chance because they're still a game behind both those teams, but having the tiebreaker over the Chiefs helps. Having the chance to get the tiebreaker over the Bills helps. But unfortunately for them, they're still a game back from the Chiefs, who, again, have a lot of easy games left on the schedule.
Exactly. And, I mean, it's rolling out perfectly, I think. I mean, and with all the heat we got starting out the season 0-2, you know, Joe came out and said, relax, you know, we're going to be just fine. It's coming to fruition. I mean, the way the offensive line is gelling, the way this team is playing, T. Higgins, I don't want to say he's emerged. I think us as Bengals fans already knew how good he was, but I think the national media are realizing how good he is. And not only do we have him, we got Uno back. I mean, John, I think I think we are the scariest team in the NFL. I don't think anybody wants to play us right now. I
think, like, when you describe the Bengals, it's a lot similar to describing Burrow, where, yeah, of course there are stars with the Bengals, but when you look at the Chiefs and the Bills, like, they make, like, the flashy plays, and that's kind of indicative of their quarterbacks too. And it's why it's just been weird, I think, with Burrow being more the traditional mold of a quarterback and how it contrasts with guys like Allen and Mahomes, which is why he doesn't often get talked about as, like, right there in the elite conversation. I feel like that transcends with the Bengals too, because they are so well balanced. Like, there's no clear weakness on this team where you can point out weaknesses for most of the other teams, maybe aside from the Eagles in the NFL right now. And that's what makes them dangerous. There's no exploitable area with this current iteration of the team. And that will allow them to compete with anyone, and that's why other teams who play them should be scared of them. But like, it's almost like it curses them at the same time, because there is no truly elite trait. Everything, they just do a lot of things really well, and they're building towards that elitist with their passing game because of things that you said with the offensive line, with Burrow just really playing at that level in the past 7 or 8 weeks now. And I feel like what Goodberry said on Sunday really encapsulates it, because like, this is the team that a lot of Bengals fans wanted for years and years when they were stuck in purgatory with Dalton and Marvin Lewis in the final years of that era. Like, they have a great passing game. They have a sustainable offensive line. They have a solid 1-2 punch at running back. They have a defense that is completely cohesive. The chemistry is off the charts. There's no true superstar, but it doesn't matter because they just get the job done regardless of who's up against them. It's a perfectly composed team, and it's arrived at a time when they have a chance to overtake everyone in the AFC, and it's great.
Exactly. And then one thing that Haas said here, and I'll say the same thing. He said the weakness some people say is their corners because Cheeto is out. But to be honest, I don't think we've missed a whole lot. I mean, it's not going to be the same. I mean, Cheeto's, our number one corner, but I mean, I think the cornerbacks in Eli and Cam Taylor-Britt's playing. They're playing pretty good, I think.
Yeah, like Taylor-Britt has not been a liability as of late. Like, there was some.
He was this close to getting an interception, and we called it on my show Saturday. Sorry.
No, it was a great play, like by him personally. Like, I think he was in like a cover 2 zone, and he was keeping eyes on the flat receiver, and he was just watching Mahomes the entire time, because that's what you do in off coverage. And then he just backtracked towards where the ball was going, and he made a great play on the ball. Like, he should have caught that if Bates didn't run into him. He made a great hands attempt to catch the ball, and unfortunately Bates ran into him. So that would have been a highlight play, right? But Taylor-Britt has been phenomenal in the past couple of weeks. After, I think it was moments against the Browns, there was a moment against the Steelers where he
knocked the ball out of Mahomes' hands too.
Exactly, yeah. So he's really settled in there.
God damn.
Oh, that interception would have been what some call a jizz-worthy play, because me and Jeff was so ready.
Oh,
just stare eye to eye and just bump Vienna sausages,
dude. Because he was on my show Saturday, and we tried to speak into fruition. You're gonna pick Mahomes off, and
it's gonna happen.
It would happen. Freaking Jesse Bates. It's like that got it, man. All right, so this is a go over here from Pork Chop. Here goes up. When I rewatched the game at home, I heard Burrow yell, "Palmer." Is that an audible to quit on the play called in?
It's a fit. So you act like you're just going to stop playing, but then you come back and you keep playing.
Is it a fake?
That's
audible?
what Palmer is.
All right, Chris got one here for you, John. John, Cleveland game this weekend, is it a must-win? Do you agree?
No. Maybe for the morale it is. I can't imagine losing to the Browns 7 times in a row or whatever.
Yeah, I just want to kick their ass. We can't lose to them again. Like, give me a break.
I'm so confused with this game coming up, because what I saw against the Texans was just abysmal from their quarterback. And
it never matters. It never matters, John.
It doesn't. I don't know. They can play like ass and they come play like Super Bowl champs against us.
Well, the thing is that, like, offensively, in recent years, the Bengals haven't been that bad against Cleveland. It's just they get off to these terrible starts, and it puts Cleveland in these prime positions to just pound the ball with Nick Chubb.
Do what they should be doing.
And then Myles Garrett just tees off when the Bengals are in this deficit. So if they can change how they start these games against the Browns, they have no reason to lose to that defensive line that just, they have ghosts playing defensive tackle. They just get blown off the ball. Like, Myles Garrett should not matter this much. Despite how great he is, he should not be single-handedly winning these games, especially when, I mean, can anyone expect Deshaun Watson to be good in the near future? Because he just flat out wasn't against a terrible team.
Now, it will be interesting to see how the offensive line does with Garrett, because typically, like you said, I'm on the air. I can't answer the phone.
Well,
right now.
I was gonna say I went on a Browns podcast before this show, and
he's cheating.
Obviously they think like they're riding the high on it. But one of the dumbest things I thought, which you try to be nice when you're on someone else's show. So if the guy's watching this, sorry, but he was like, I think they were holding back last week, and they're saving it. And you'll be surprised how Watson comes out through. I'm like, dude, the only way Watson's gonna have a good game is if we have a bad start and they're running the ball, and then he might be able to hit some open passes, kind of like Jacoby Brissett when it just broke open in the second half for the Browns the first time we played them. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to think that Deshaun Watson is all of a sudden going to be fucking Superman. They were holding back. You don't go 12 for 22 with 131 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and it's like, we were just holding back. I thought that was really stupid.
Well, he hasn't played football. I was going to say he hadn't played football in a year and a half, despite all the crap. He hadn't played football in a year and a half.
700 and some days.
I mean, you don't just go, I would pick this right back up. I don't think anyway. John, what do you got?
He was practicing maybe a couple of weeks before this game or whatever. So like, there's definitely rust. I mean, that's just copium right there. That's just that's $230 million that we spent for this dude, and he came out the gate really bad. Now, eventually, you have to figure he's going to get it. It's just a matter of can he get it now. And I want to go back and watch that game to see what the Browns' offense looked like compared to when they had Jacoby Brissett under center for 10 or 11 weeks, because the scheme is still the same. The scheme is, at least from that Monday night game, it was the same as when Baker Mayfield was the quarterback. And that has truly given Lou Anarumo tons of fits as a defensive coordinator. And that's something to watch for. How much is this going to evolve now that they have this caliber of quarterback under center? Like, obviously, you can make it easier on Deshaun. He's going through these struggles right now. But if it's the same as what it's been for ever since Stefanski took over, the Bengals still have to take this seriously for sure.
Chris here says Watson wasn't going to be good even without the suspension. He hasn't played in 2 years. That's what I'm saying, Chris.
Brandon Allen beat him when he was on the Texans. I hope everybody remembers his last full season went before he was suspended and everything else. Like, he didn't have a great season that season. Mm-hmm. And he damn sure didn't play well against the Bengals in that game when Brandon Allen beat the Texans.
Yep, exactly. All right, Dennis Perry here. Basically, wants to know if you heard anything about Lamar, his injury. Go ahead.
1 to 3 weeks, right, John, is what Harbaugh said today. So
yeah. It's just a knee sprain. They're going to just evaluate him week to week. He won't play this week.
The only thing I heard Richard Sherman on, I guess, I don't know, the podcast he was on, he was telling Lamar that he wouldn't play because they haven't signed him. I'm like, I don't think that's going to, I mean, hey, I'm all for it. That's cool. Don't play. But I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Regardless if he does play, though, these past 3 weeks for the Ravens have been fascinating. You barely beat Carolina. You drop one to Jacksonville, and then that Broncos team, which, granted, phenomenal defense. It's carrying them to, 3 or 4 wins this year. But the fact that you can, my God, to almost lose to that team right now is inexcusable.
Exactly.
Well, that's one thing I kept telling people. It's like Baltimore has got a 2-game lead on us or whatever it was at one time, and I'm like, they're going to lose games they shouldn't lose because they've already done that, and then they lost 4 14-point leads. I mean, a championship team doesn't do that. I mean, an okay team does that, but not a really good team. And the thing is, Baltimore is so built around Lamar. If he doesn't play good, and I'm sorry, Lamar has not been playing that good these last couple of years. I mean, he hasn't. You can go look at the numbers for himself. In his quote-unquote contract years, betting on himself, his passing yards are down, his running yards are down, everything's down, and they have put everything on him and given him no freaking weapons, which is beyond me. They have 25 tight ends. So that's why I kept saying, I'm not really scared of Baltimore because they're going to lose games that they're not supposed to, and we're going to get healthier. Our offense line's going to play better, and that's what's happening so far. All right, Greg.
Still, the margin of error is very small.
Yes.
With our AFC North record and also just their schedule compared to ours.
Yeah, we can't lose. I mean, divisional games. If we want to win the division, we can't lose any more divisional games. We got to win the rest of them, which is only 2 more, but we got to win both of them. Greg's asked us 6 times in the chat, so I got to put it up now. He said, "Is Pratt the most underrated player on the Bengals?"
That's a great point. I think it's hard to argue with that at this point because of how much he's made a jump in this year. And it's also a contract year for him. I think that'll be an interesting discussion to have in the offseason. I think he's precisely now the player that I think a lot of people expected him to be coming out of college, eventually getting to that point. You have to remember, he was a converted safety coming out of North Carolina State. He was by far like the best athlete that they had drafted at the position for some time, but it took him a while to really settle down as a linebacker and let the game kind of slow down for him. Because early on, he was not very good in run fits. He had the speed to keep up with receivers, but he just got lost in coverage too many times. Now I think he has a good understanding of who he is as a player. He takes phenomenal angles in the run game. He's still not a great linebacker in coverage because he's not like truly the best athlete to be in space like that, but I think he's completely made the most of his opportunities this year, and I feel like he definitely earns that respect now.
So now, am I right? Is his contract up after this year, or is it next year? So is he a must sign? You think, or is that the reason they drafted Adeniji?
Man, this is the biggest discussion this offseason.
Those are the questions,
right?
But not. It's not just with Pratt though. It's with the entire team because everyone's talking about
Von Bell.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the Bengals can't possibly sign Burrow, Higgins, and Chase. Well, they're damn well going to try, and if they succeed, you're going to see guys leave because, unfortunately, the way that they structure contracts, they don't always save the most cap space for these extensions, and it just ends up eating a lot of the cap room. So some of these guys are going to be moving on, and that's the whole discussion of how do you continue to build a successful team around these elite talents who are going to take up so much cap space, and Pratt might just be a casualty of that.
Well, that's the thing is that's one thing we're going to really find out here. If the Bengals, one of the things they have to, they changed a lot of stuff. Like you just said there, how do they have some cap magic? You know, people are able to manage the cap, sign deals, and do them differently so that it's not such a big salary cap hit and keep all these guys under. And that's what the Bengals are going to have to try to figure out to do because we got Bell, we got Pratt, Tyler Boyd's coming up. Mixon, I love Mixon, but I think he might be a cap casualty. I think that's one that they might cut just because of the emergence of Piron. These are things we have to do.
Can we we're 8-4. We just beat the Chiefs. Can we just save the offseason for the offseason?
Greg brought it up. It's not my fault.
Greg, come on, man. This is like your take that Die Hard's not a Christmas movie.
Okay, John.
You got to stop.
John, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Got to ask this.
Yeah. It's at a Christmas party. Why would it not be?
Yeah, suck it, Greg.
Yeah, there you go.
He's trying to get back to his family. It's all about holidays.
All right, Matty here. He's got a comment here. Lamar is tired of getting his ass beat. Remember Michael Vick? Look at Kyler Murray. Look at Donovan McNabb. Look at Cunningham. All are about 4 or 5 years of getting their ass beat. They tried to be drop back quarterbacks. They all suck. Oh, that's one thing I've said about Lamar for years. I said there's a lot of young running quarterbacks. There's not a lot of old running quarterbacks, and I think Lamar's starting these hits. I mean, Cam Newton, these hits take their toll, regardless of how good an athlete you are. You can't keep getting hit. You can't keep getting injured, and Lamar's been getting injured here lately.
Yeah, if you're not an elite, if you don't have that passing accuracy as a quarterback, time will catch up with you. You might have 5, 6, 7 electric years, but that's what history shows for that type of quarterback.
I don't really like discussing Lamar, to be honest. I feel like it's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of very archaic stuff being said with him.
But do you think he's accurate?
Yes.
I don't like. It's just
you think he's an accurate
passer? I feel like he throws like too many passes, like 10 feet over guys' heads. Like maybe it's just because I don't watch all their games and I watch when we play.
I really want their offensive coordinator to take the Stanford job. I want a grown-up offensive coordinator coordinating Lamar Jackson. I want to see what he does in an actual offense because the offense that he's in really dumbs it down, and I feel like it doesn't maximize what he does. So, and also the fact that they can't attract receivers is very concerning. I don't know if that's because they don't want to be in that offense. I don't think it has anything to do with Lamar. I think it's
it's more the offense.
Yeah,
that they keep running.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, that's what that's a hardball offense. I mean, they've always been like that. Even when Flacco was there, they were a big time.
Well, I mean, not the read option stuff or anything.
Not true,
like
not that. But I'm just as far as a heavy run.
Sure. Yeah, they've always prioritized tight ends for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they got 50 of them on their team.
I don't know. I feel like I see Lamar. There's receivers running wide open, and it goes 10 yards over their head. Or it goes 10 yards out of bounds.
Hell, he missed that one. There was a touchdown pass he missed against the Bengals. The dude was wide open. He overthrew him. So, anyway, whatever. I don't know, we're coming off the Chiefs game here.
I mean, we have Burrow. We have one of the most accurate quarterbacks.
Yeah. That's the thing is like we're spoiled. We got jackpot, man. And speaking of, let's talk about the throw that Joe made to end the game against Chiefs to T. Higgins. NFL Live did a touchscreen thing on it earlier today, and it was, if you really watch it, the way they broke it down, it's the DB's arm is there. Joe is getting hit. The guy is right here when he throws the ball. That's not every quarterback can make that throw. Not with the guy. I mean, literally, the guy's right here when Joe's throwing it. It's not only accurate, but it's right on the money. And how he got it in there and the DB didn't get his arm down, I don't know. I mean, that's, I guess, why we're like, Lamar's not that good. We have Joe Burrow making these throws. What do you think about the play there, John?
I think looking back at it, like, because what Zach Taylor said after the game, he said that he doesn't normally see the ball come out that late on that particular route. And I feel like why that happened, it almost looked like Burrow was just like frozen in the pocket for like a split second. You're like, what's happening? It's like a glitch in the matrix. And there was just a little hitch route on the play where he had like a slant flat combo towards the right. Higgins running the slant, and you had Mitchell Wilcox running a little hitch over the middle. And I think Burrow was holding the linebacker there for a split second to increase a window that didn't exist. The fact that he was able to get the ball over both Wilcox and the linebacker into that spot, I think it's why he held the ball for as long as he did. But the accuracy there, like you can't explain that. It's just right exactly where it needed to be. The cornerback played that perfectly. It was the outside arm crossing over to Higgins. He completely erased any window that was there. And he was there, like in position. He should not fault himself. It was just the perfectly thrown ball with the perfect amount of pace. And Higgins, it's one of those just handoff plays. Like that's what the great quarterbacks do. Like some of these throws down the field, they're just handoffs because the receiver doesn't have to do anything. He just has to have wherever his arms or hands are at that moment. That's where the ball's going to be, and that's what that throw was.
Yeah, I mean it was ridiculous. I mean, now the other catch, which wasn't a catch, is Chase. The one-handed stab. I mean, me and Dale are sitting there perfect line. It was right down the sideline, and we can see he just stuck that hand up and poof. I mean, I know it didn't count, but that's ridiculous. I mean, that's our number 1 and 2 wide receivers on our team.
We also lost though 4 points on Boyd's drop. Like that would have been the one if we lost that game that everyone would have went back to in hindsight and been like, what? And he never drops the ball, so it's historically you can't be like, oh damn, Boyd, what the hell? But that was just like. But it was teardrop perfect, but he was so wide open too.
I want to talk. Go ahead, too.
I was just going to say, I think he was like, holy shit, I'm so wide open.
Maybe.
Probably.
Like, I want to talk about that drive real quick, though, because Boyd had 2 catches on that drive, and he could have finished it off with that touchdown. The first catch was the exact same play and route that Chase ran against the Chiefs last year, where he like ran past 8 defenders for like a 70-yard touchdown. It was that exact same play, and they ran it to Boyd that time. The other catch that he had, I recognize this play. It's the exact same play that Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski ran like 2,000 times with the Patriots. It was just a play action. They pulled the guard, Volson, around the line of scrimmage and protection, and instead of the tight end, it was this time Boyd as a tight slot receiver running just an over route over the middle. And we don't really see play action under center from Burrow that often, and that was one of those instances where they were just doing everything offensively. They were going out of shotgun, they were going under center, they were doing all sorts of concepts of blocking. Yeah, exactly. Everything was working, and it was good to see that wrinkle. And of course, like Boyd has a chance to finish out this drive where he does these 2 great routes and catches.
It was so perfect.
It was right here, and he just didn't adjust his hands for whatever reason. He hasn't dropped a pass in 2 years.
No, that's what
he
I'm
drops
like.
The easiest touchdown of all time.
Right. Well,
that's why we're all like, we couldn't even be like, damn it, Boyd. We were all in the stands just like, he never dropped. We're like, what? This doesn't make sense.
Am I remembering this right? Was that the second drive? Because if we would that Boyd, that would put us up 2 touchdowns, right? So if he catches
that was in the second half.
Yeah, they're already down at that point.
That was in the third. I think it was the third quarter, not the fourth yet. But
so the second drive, we ended up with a field goal. Am I right?
No,
I remember
we were up 14-3.
Was it? Okay. All right.
Because then we got the ball even, and I was like, I don't know if I want us to score a touchdown here because that would be 21-3, and that was bad for the Chiefs last year. It was like So the one time I was like, I don't want
Dale's brain's always going. This
I'm
one, John. This one I have to deal with behind me all the time. Like, Dale, it's fine. Calm down.
Well, I'm just saying, it's 21-3. Then the Chiefs be like, oh, well, we were up 21-3. Like, I don't know, just bad karma that I didn't want. I said that at halftime.
The Rock here, Rick, he said you should have brought the puppets, John.
That's what I was saying earlier. You can't put his picture up without me thinking that is Dwayne The Rock Johnson with glasses on.
Does that look like The Rock?
It actually does, yeah.
That's Rick The Rock. That's what I call
and
it.
That is the ultimate compliment.
If you smell with the Rick.
No.
Somebody said here.
Poontang pot. No.
Oh, here you go.
No.
Poontang pie. There you go. I think this is possible. You think it's possible that the Bengals?
It's possible, but can we not do this? Can we also not do this? Just like for the season, we're like, it's possible we start off 8-0 or 9-0.
I think we could have started 10
because of our schedule. How the fuck did that work out?
Well, our offensive line played like shit.
Can we just play one fucking game at a time? Can we beat Cleveland for once in 2 years, please? Like, fuck. I hate when we get ahead of ourselves. Like,
never mind. I won't bring up the comments anymore. God.
No, sorry. Nothing personal. I'm just saying, like, I hate that because we did that before the season started. And it's like, it's the fucking NFL. It's just like saying the Chargers have an easy schedule. The Ravens has the easy schedule. There's injuries. It's the NFL. There's fucking bullshit calls. It's chaos, right?
Yeah, let's go with Tom's here. I'll change the subject for you. Let's get back to
I'm going to pee. This is ridiculous.
He just quit on me. All right, the difference between Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes and Lamar are running QB. Lamar is more like Josh Allen without the highs, both still inconsistent.
I think he's trying to say height.
Yeah.
He did not spell check any of this.
Yeah.
Also, what are we doing? Why are we pinning quarterbacks against quarterbacks, man? I don't know what this insecurity is with Burrow, man. Like he's a great quarterback. Let's just not diminish other quarterbacks. I don't get it.
Exactly. Oh, this is scary. If Dale's a voice of reason here, this is scary. Oh my goodness! All right, so what is your thoughts rolling into the Browns game? I mean, what are the keys to the game? I mean, I'm really interested in seeing how this offensive line is playing now against Myles Garrett. I would like to see how they've improved from the beginning of this. I know they improved a lot, but I mean, I think this is a good tipping point, a good test to see how they've done against an elite pass rusher now. I mean, I know Chandler and the Chiefs, they got elite, but Myles Garrett has given us problems a lot since he's gotten in the league. So, yeah.
And I don't think it's like Garrett can beat Jonah Williams a couple times in this game. And I don't think it's an indictment on Jonah. I think that's just, I personally have Myles Garrett over TJ Watt as the best edge rusher in the league just because of the way that he's built and he can just do things that no one else in the NFL on the edge can do. But an underrated aspect of that last game, not only was it was the first game that Chase missed, right? And I don't think they were fully game planning to not have him. They kind of found that out in the middle of the week, so they had to kind of scramble. And then that was Trent Irwin's first start, so no one was really ready for a passing offense against the Browns. But the Browns they weren't playing really well on defense, especially in the secondary entering that week, and their corners just locked them down in man coverage. And that has been kind of an issue ever since they've began rebuilding the secondary with Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome and this other AJ Green, who's a young guy out of Oklahoma State. So I'm interested to see how these receivers square up with these guys in man. They need to be able to separate to give Burrow windows for him to get the ball out before Myles Garrett comes around the edge. Like there's a lot of things with this Browns defense that against 30 other teams it doesn't work. And with the Bengals, they find a way to get these timing plays and able to create turnovers, and it's crazy.
So another thing that we didn't have, and I keep saying this is huge when we got back. And Greg said it here first, but we got DJ Reader. We didn't have him in the Browns game. He makes such a difference on our defense. I mean, to me, he's the key to our defense. I really do. I mean, our pass rush, our run stop, everything is so much better with DJ in there, and we didn't have him against Cleveland. So I think it's another big point that we're going to have that we didn't have last time.
That was scary against Kansas City. I don't know if you guys noticed, but both Reader and Tupou did not come out of the gate playing very well. They were getting blown off the line by, albeit very good players in Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith and whoever was playing for Joe Tooney at left guard. But the Browns
imagine
don't
drafting Creed Humphrey over Jackson Carman. Oh, Jesus Christ.
The Browns don't have like their center though. I think Ethan Pokic is out. Wyatt Teller I think is not 100%. So that might be advantage to the Bengals at this time.
I was just about to get pissed off again about this fucking house that was.
Dale is feisty today, man.
Moving on.
So, anything here? Just do. Here, you gotta go. Jerry keeps putting this up there. You gotta go give him a follow. Well,
I think we followed each other. I think
I follow him. I don't know. I don't know if I do or not.
Oh wow, Jeff, you're really bad at this. You know,
I'm terrible at this
your
crap.
show, and you're just like, I'm
He
big
needs a
time.
producer. Everyone needs a producer. I need a producer, man.
I need a
Stuff out here.
producer. I thought you were the producer.
Wait, who? John? Oh, John is the producer.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, John.
Producer
John's
of
definitely
what?
I don't know stuff. The Cincy Jungle.
Producer of puppets. Okay, let's see here. Augie. Aside from DJ Reader, but BJ Hill has been the best thing Billy Price ever did for us. BJ Hill has been playing. I don't know. Has he been playing as good? He plays a lot better with DJ here. He wasn't as dominant without DJ. What's your thoughts on BJ's?
I think that we still need a piece. I think he's better as a rotational defense, and maybe we have that piece. Maybe it's Tufele. Maybe it's one of these other guys. Maybe it's Zach Carter next year. It's not that right now though. That we are missing that Larry O other interior rush. I feel like is like a weakness, and that's no knock on BJ Hill. I think he's a really damn good player, but.
I think in a perfect world, Zach Carter maybe becomes that, but I don't think he's quite that athlete. They need that explosion inside. Like they haven't had it since Geno Atkins was good, and like Larry Ogunjobi had shades of it, but he wasn't nearly as consistent. He missed a lot of plays in the backfield. He was a true home run hitter for a 3 technique, while Geno Atkins had a high batting average, if you will. So they need that guy that can get up there really quick in the snap and be able to finish plays against the pass. I think BJ Hill. He was a nose tackle coming out of college. He was mainly a nose tackle with the Giants, and he's been a 3 technique since he's been with the Bengals. But that's not where his strengths are best utilized as a pass rusher. He gets some production there, but like you saw last year, like when he has a guy to rotate with, when his snaps are more managed against the pass, that's when the production comes.
So let's talk a rotation that might be happening here with Mixon coming back. The rotation. Do you think it's gonna be a rotation? I know Mixon's probably going to get most of the carry because he makes the money, but I do think it's that Samardzija, P. Ryan, I'll just go P. Ryan. I always say his name wrong.
You always put the R in there every time.
P. Ryan has established himself as a guy that's you have to give the ball to. I mean, and I think that's good for the Bengals moving forward into the playoffs because we have a potential of having both running backs with fresh legs. So how do you think they're going to handle this, John?
I mean, that's what every team should do, really. Like they shouldn't have to put everything on just a single running back. And I think what's underrated about this, or maybe overlooked, this is 2 games in a row that he's missed with a concussion. So I feel like that should be taken notice of. Like he might not be able to put in a full workload in his first game back. So I think specifically for this game, especially with how much Piran has proved himself worthy as a starter, like this is going to be a true 50-50 split just to start off with. Now, if Mixon's fine, if he doesn't have any setbacks, and he's practicing and all that good stuff, like I think then he'll start to revert back to what his normal workload was before he got concussed. But I think specifically now, because he's missed multiple games, I think they're going to try to ease him back in because they have a lot of confidence in Piran as well.
And I agree, because you do the 50-50 split now, and then, okay, if Mixon's like, okay, he's showing he's kind of good to go, ultimately the better player, the more talented guy will win out, right? Will start to show more, even if you do that split for a couple of weeks. And then it'll be like, then you'll give the other guy a little more of the workload. So I think it'll just play itself out. It's a good problem to have. Well,
the good thing, too, is that the Bengals have run the ball. I mean, I know they're running the ball better, but I mean, they've been consistent with it, because there's been times at the beginning of the year people are like, we got to run the damn ball. Zach wants to throw it too much. It seemed like something happened in, what do you want to say, the Atlanta game? Was that? I know Mixon went up for like 5 touchdowns. Was that it?
The Browns game, we just didn't run the fucking ball.
Right. So, so it was like after that, that's when we I think Zach kind of goes, all right, we got to consciously run the ball. And ever since then, I think we've been running it effectively. And I think that's really is what has got this offense going. I mean, yeah, the offensive line, Joe, and playing a lot better has a lot to do with it too.
But Richard, in the comments, no, I'm not. I believe in the Bengals too. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying I'm like, man, can we beat the Browns first before we run the table?
Dale can't stand the Browns.
I just really want this one really bad. So I'm like, all hands on deck, all focus on this. Motherfuckers bark in my ear. I can't stand that shit. Like,
hey, you made up with the guy.
Yeah, it ended up being a Bengals fan, but still, it's them. It's their barking. It's their.
It was something happened last year at the Browns game. A Bengals
fan was barking.
Yeah, well, he was a Browns fan that day. He came over, barked in Dale's ear, and it wasn't good. I thought we were going to get kicked out that game. It wasn't good. I had to calm him down.
Regardless, it's all fine.
Yeah, we're all good now. We're all good now.
Just I don't like the barking in my ear. I'm a grown man. Please don't bark in my ear.
Well, we're gonna be up in the suite, so nobody's gonna be barking in our ear this time. We're gonna be up in the Betfred suite.
Well, Jeff, way to just flop your big old dick down.
Actually, I just okay. All right, you want to do that? You're actually going to be in the suite. They had to you actually have tickets for it. They had to come down and get me. I might get up there sometime. So let's.
Ooh, I wonder what I could sell a suite ticket for.
Let's get some pretty good money there. I would think. I don't know, John.
You've never even thought of that.
John's been in the Cincy Jungle Suite, all the time. He would know all about it.
Oh yeah, it's right at the 50-yard line. It's chrome seats.
Those sounds uncomfortable.
John, do you go to the games? Why do I never see you?
No, I work during the games, and I don't have a press access, so I'm at home.
He's got to make sure he's writing for Cincy Jungle.
I did go to the Dolphins game. Shout out to Ron Spatola, who's my plug there.
There you go.
Well, I would love to hang out with John at a game, have a beer with him at some point.
Hell yeah!
You were at what was the game you and Anthony were at last year? That the first game?
Yeah, we went to the Vikings game. We didn't sit next to each other, but we met up at halftime. If they have a playoff game, I was invited back down, so I'll definitely hit up you guys with the tailgate or something.
Absolutely. Yeah, which we had an absolute blast at the tailgate this past weekend. We had Kathy Hurst, Hayden's mom, and Betfred donated. How much was? I don't want to get the number wrong. How much did they donate again?
It was $2,500.
Yeah, to the Hayden Hurst Foundation. So that was a really cool thing to happen at the tailgate.
We've raised like another $700 for them, and then I'm finishing up a raffle that'll raise another $500 for the Hayden Hurst Mental Health Foundation. So
yeah, so
and thank you, John, because I know Anthony's put some of that stuff out too.
Yeah.
Him and John on their show, like about what we're trying to do, raising money for them. So thank you guys for that, because that's what it's all about, right? If you have a small platform and you can raise a little bit of money to help something that you care about, that's pretty damn cool, man.
Exactly. Now here's how many spots you got left. This is the photo you're auctioning off, basically.
I think it's filled, but I may have two because I'm waiting on one guy to get back to me. I've given him over a week, so
there you go. That's the
they have two spots, but it's $10 a spot for that print, 16 by 20 print, Tony Lips art. He's the one who hit me up and was like, "Hey, I'd love to do this," and I was like, "Well, let's do $10 spot, 50 spots," and I'm thinking we might get 20 or 30 spots filled. In a week, we've filled almost 50.
That's awesome. That's Hoot In Nation, baby. We support everybody.
Salute.
Now, one thing here, it was a disappointing. I'm not disappointed he got cut, but I'm disappointed by his play. I was so excited when we drafted him. I thought Tyler was going to be a big player for us, and he's just never developed.
We were one bad call away from getting the same photo. We got it in the AFC Championship, but we almost got the same photo.
Well, he won't be on the team to do it now.
I know. You know what I'm saying, though? Last of the damn refs. That was not a holding call on Logan Wilson. I don't care what anybody says. I will never say that was a holding call. That was bullshit.
So what were your thoughts on Tyler Shelvin and his Bengals? Just untapped potential, or just wasn't even worth it?
More the second. Like, he didn't really do much at LSU.
But he was 20. He was 20. 20 years old when they drafted him.
He was 23. He was pretty old, actually.
No, he wasn't.
What do you mean? He's 24 right now.
Tyler Shelvin?
Yeah. He didn't play in this last year. I think he sat out along with Chase on that team.
Me trying to question the brain is probably a bad idea.
Hey, you guys are the draft guys, not me. I'm just the host of the show, so I'll let you two duke it out. I don't know.
He had his moments at LSU, but like you would have expected a little bit more production out of a 4th-round pick,
Who
and
the fuck
also
am I thinking of?
he just wasn't very athletic either. Like that's the thing with Rita. That's
Never
underrated.
question the brain. He's 24 now, so he had to be.
See, we just give you guys a nickname. You're the brain, and AC is the Godfather. So that the next time you guys are on, you should just have the brain, and AC has the Godfather as your names on there. That's just
Well, shit, that was a terrible pick then. The whole time I thought he was 20.
Based it all around his age and not anything else.
Well, thinking that he could improve. I mean, shit, if I'd have known he was like 23 and he was 6'2", 360, and didn't have much production at LSU, I probably would have looked at that one a little different.
and you're my draft guy. Jeez, what the hell? Look at that. I actually shut Dale up. What the hell? Point. One in a row.
I was wrong, baby. Okay, I was wrong. I'm man enough to admit it.
Wow. All right, Dallas put this up a couple times. Says we have to beat the Browns. They've been a thorn in our side recently, but guess what? You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati. Hooday, jackpot's on fire for MVP. And I'm glad he brought up the MVP talker. And that's one thing. And I think that's what Burrow has gotten himself into the conversation here over the last couple of weeks, where he's not leading. I mean, I think they're saying he might be like 3rd right now as far as quarterback. It's gonna be a quarterback, award. He usually is. What do you think his chances are? How has he improved to get into that, or just do some MVP talk about Burrow?
It doesn't help that Jalen Hurts and Mahomes came out of the gate firing, and
Right.
Burrow didn't, unfortunately, because of things that weren't necessarily in his control.
Appendectomy.
So, exactly. Like, I feel like it matters more what you do to finish the season than when you start. Like, that would be my case, and also the fact that, I mean, this is never really how it goes. It's usually just the quarterback who is the most productive on the team that finishes like 1st or 2nd in the conference, which is why Mahomes and Hurts are still the front runners. But when you talk about like true value, I feel like Mahomes and Burrow have the best cases because of what Burrow has had to endure this year, not having his number 1 receiver for multiple weeks, going through the adversity early in the season. Like the Bengals are where they are because of Burrow, just like Mahomes, like he lost his number 1 receiver and they haven't missed a beat offensively, right? Like that's why he deserves to remain in that conversation. I know some voters will take the head-to-head into account, and also the fact that I think the MVP voting is different this year, where I think people can vote for multiple guys instead of just one, right? So the results should favor Burrow more than they would if the voting was kept the same. I don't think he wins it right now, but if he just completely just eviscerates these next 5 guys, I feel like he'll probably be the favorite by then.
I feel like this was a conversation we started, Jeff, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I said, he's not there. He shouldn't. He's not there now. I said, but
he's getting there.
If they win and they keep winning and he keeps playing well, he's fully going to be like right in the mix of the top couple guys.
Now, one thing you said there, John, is the head-to-head. Would you count the head-to-head? I mean, I would.
I got to bounce, brother. You guys finish this one out. I'm going to jump on Brew Jackets.
All right, man. I'll be on there a little bit later. So do you what I didn't remember the question I asked you. What did I ask you?
Head-to-head.
Yeah, head-to-head. Do you take that into account? Because I mean, let's just go head-to-head with Patrick Mahomes. Burrow's beat on him 3 times in a row, but this year, first head-to-head, he beat him. Do you think that would come into? Do voters take that into account when you're voting on the MVP? It's Mahomes or Burrow, and to me, I'm like, well, if you're comparing them, how they do against each other. Burrow beat him. Now Mahomes had good numbers still, but
Yeah, it's fair as a tiebreaker. I think you still have to weight the overall performances from a season-long standpoint, and I think Mahomes right now just has the cleaner-looking thing, and he has that case of doing this all without Tyreek, right? So I feel like that's still where the conversation exists now, but if the gap continues to get more narrow and narrow, people will look at that game, the fact that Mahomes hasn't beaten Burrow in 3 times now, the fact that Burrow is the reason why they've beaten Mahomes. They're the first team to do it for 3 consecutive meetings. That should account for something if it gets as tight as we expect it to get.
Now, I have a question. Talking about DJ Reader, and I'm talking about how a big impact he's had on this team and on this defense. Now, he was hurt for about a month or so. And I've been, before he got hurt, I was banging the drum. I want him to be a Pro Bowler, all-pro player. I know it's going to hurt him. But does he still have a shot, in your opinion, if he's playing? I know he got to a bad start this game, but playing at the rate he's playing now, do you think he has a shot at being All-Pro, Pro Bowl player this year?
Man, he should have been a Pro Bowl last year.
I agree with that. Yes.
So I don't know if the fact that like he's more well known now because of last season would help him. I don't think missing games helps his case, and I think it's really hard for defensive tackles who don't get sacks to end up going because not everyone looks at pass rushing production and win rate and all the other stuff. At the end of the day, you look at whatever columns or stats are listed on the Pro Bowl ballot, and it's usually just tackles. And for as many stops as he makes, he's probably still not amongst the league leaders. So that's what Pro Bowl politics are, though. You know? Yeah,
I just wish they'd look at the impact that he makes on the overall team because, I mean, he just takes two guys most of the time and pushes them forward and puts them wherever he wants. I mean, that's a huge impact. I know that they don't have any domination stats with that. That's something we should come up with. But he dominates most guys that are in front of him, you know. And I know he's not more of a pass rusher, but he helps the pass rush. He's the reason Joseph Osai was able to get that sack at the end of the game. He's the reason Sam Hubbard's been able to get some more and Erickson and all this. I mean, he makes that whole thing work, I think, more than he gets credit for.
100%, for sure.
Now, this is kind of, I've been telling everybody, this last time the Chiefs beat the Bengals was 1984. I was 9. John, were you even alive then?
That was at Cincinnati, though.
In Cincinnati, yes, in Cincinnati. Yeah. Last time it was.
No, I was not alive.
I didn't think so. Everybody's on the show is always younger than me. Anyway. All right, John, you've been on for over 50 minutes. I appreciate it. What do you got coming on with the Puppets, Orange and Black, you and the Godfather? Any stories? I'll let you plug whatever you want right now.
Yeah, we just did our recap shows for both the Orange and Black Insider Bengals podcast and the #1 Bengals podcast. So definitely check out both of those on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. And yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
And you know, Bridget is DJ Reader's best friend now. Did you see that?
Man, I was so jealous. That was awesome.
Well, I told her, I said, you got to have DJ on your show. First of all, I said, did you ask him to be on my show? I said, no, screw that. Did they ask him to be on your show? Like, you got to have him on.
Yeah, like when she told us, like me and the Puppets, I'm like, that's awesome. And of course, Daddy was like, yeah, ask him to be on the show. Like, no one has the shamelessness as Daddy does. Like, that dude is just.
I would ask.
He should have been a sports agent in his past life or something.
Daddy is one of a kind, brother.
Yeah.
All right, John. Appreciate it, man. Who day?
See you.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. If you're interested, we are going to be going live on Brew Jackets here. They might be starting here in a couple of minutes. So if you want some more silly shenanigans, it's going to be hockey talk. We talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, but that'll be up here, like I said, probably like 6:30. I think you're going on. I got a link. I haven't looked at it. Anyway, let me get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. And as always, I appreciate every single one. They are Who Dey Nation, Who Dey Legion, Bearcat Ruckus, the Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar, and then as always, you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is @Chef8Trinipole. Like I said, I'm at 3,000 followers on Twitter. I can't believe 3,000 people are following me. Now, if you follow me on Twitter and you haven't subscribed to the show, why not? Please do so. So if you follow me on Twitter, you watch this on Twitter, go to YouTube, type in Sports with Strawberry Ice, and hit the subscription button. I would greatly appreciate it. TikTok is @Iceman90. YouTube, like I said, I'm at 1,987 subscribers. I got to tell you guys this every single show, and I mean this. You're probably get tired of me of hearing it. But thank you. If it wasn't for you guys watching the show, paying attention to what I say, then none of this would be happening. So I appreciate the hell of it. Sincerely do. I enjoy doing this. I'm glad you guys have fun with me. This is supposed to be. It's sports, man. And if you're not enjoying what's going on right now, and you're a Bengals fan, shoot. Because I remember telling everybody last year, I was like, enjoy this. This doesn't happen all the time. Guess what? It's happening again. We're going on a heater. We might win out. I don't know. We'll see. Now, I fixed the computer. I fixed my phone. I should be able to put this on the podcast. So, if you missed any of it, you want to listen to it at work or in the car or wherever tomorrow, it should be on the podcast on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Give me a 5-star review. I would greatly appreciate it. Go watch Brew Jackets. Let's go have some fun. Man, this is going to be a long week. I cannot wait till Sunday. Screw the Browns. If it's Brown, flush it down. Ready? That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in drippin' orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every game day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle, drippin' heat. Tiger stripe the city streets. East side, stand up. West side, stand up. If you reppin', who day? Time to put your hands up. Single stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who day in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle drippin'. Nasty, natty, yeah, we lit it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feastin' now. Fit the bounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes be tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in drippin' orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Stripes. Now who wanna move closing on? Stripes. Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange on bottle. Bingo bottle. Never stop it till the beast done feastin' on 'em. Who ain't rockin' with the diamond stripes?